I went to see Cuckoo on the same day I saw Alien Romulus, mostly just because the timings worked out pretty much perfectly, but also because I expected it would make for a reasonably diverse double feature. Not that I knew anything about Cuckoo going in, but I knew that Alien Romulus was a sci-fi horror thriller where unsuspecting people are lured by suspicious scientists representing a mysterious company to be unwitting hosts for a terrifying species they're researching, so I figured there wouldn't be any overlap. Honestly, though, comparative plot threads aside, Cuckoo is an entirely different kettle of fish. The first point of comparison that jumped to my mind was Dario Argento. More Four Flies on the Grey Velvet and Phenomena than Suspiria, but that may also speak to my limited experience with European horror, which I felt Tilman Singer was paying homage to with this film. The details all seem to be there, at least. Lush, mountainous European landscapes, an apprehensive young heroine arriving on the scene, unnerving authority figures abound, and her only source of camaraderie, a rugged detective, and a young woman she has a crush on. From the moment we arrive on the scene, no amount of friendly greetings from the ever-reliable scene stealer Dan Stevens can offset the sinister feeling emanating from every corner of the Alpen resort. The major way it strays from the Argento vibe, really, is how it's not especially nasty. Singer doesn't seem awfully preoccupied with tormenting Hunter Schafer's Gretchen to her wit's end, or reveling in the supporting character deaths with excruciating detail. Not to say Gretchen isn't hurt or traumatized by the events of Cuckoo, because oh boy is she. But as the narrative progresses, more time is invested in really blatantly connecting the resort's hidden research and mysterious beastly humanoid creatures lurking in the shadows to Gretchen's internal struggles with loss and outsider syndrome, related to her expanded family, the loss of her mother, to the point where all the bizarre threats of the film get very succinctly summarized to ensure nobody is left confused when it comes time for Gretchen to be thrown into the heart of the whole conspiracy. It's far more blatantly a horror as personal growth story than the standard Argento fare, which, more than anything, leaves you with the feeling that the survivors are never going to get over these experiences for the rest of their lives. I've heard a lot of people comment that they don't appreciate this aspect of the story, and I do get it, but given the absurd details surrounding this plot, I don't really mind it. There's a level of bemusement that, coupled with Stephen's delivery of everything in his best Bond villain accent, fits with Cuckoo's overall tone of committing to the story. It never rolls its eyes or winks to the audience, but it is smiling all the way through. The uneasy suspense of the opening hour or so unfolds less into escalating horror in the final act where Gretchen desperately fights for her life. This isn't to say that the climax doesn't build an excitement, but the excitement isn't generated from the escalation of the threat, pulling Gretchen further and further down to the point where it seems like there's no hope of escape, but more in the way that she actually embraces a call to action of sorts. It's not so much tormenting, it's more an absolute blast to watch. A lot of this is likely owed to the stellar choice of Hunter Schafer for the lead. She enters the film with an aloofness and sharpened melancholy that instantly conveys her black sheep mentality, then that is quickly peeled away as she comes under attack to show the frailty immediately under the surface. She then descends further and further down the rabbit hole with a classic Scream Queen shook to the brink of sanity gaze that she has to then push through to survive and escape, utilizing and fully realizing the teen punk resilience that she initially displayed with a deeper emotional resolve. Cuckoo never turns into a full blown action film, but Schafer is at the heart of what really gives it that feeling in the climax. In fact, she feels more like a Ripley successor than any of the subsequent Alien film leads. And so what if the personal discovery of newfound family is well trodden ground at this point? I'm not looking for every horror film to take this route, but at the moment, Cuckoo feels like a real fun alternative.